We're joined now on the Sports Mix by Shepherd University football head coach Ernie McCook. Coach, how you doing, first of all? How you doing this week?
Doing great. It's good to be with you guys today.
It's going well for us on here as well. Good to hear. So, Coach, big win against Shippensburg this past week, 48-7. In the end, you guys get the big win. Not particularly close. You guys really dominated all three phases of the game, it felt like. How did you feel about the performance overall from the team?
Well, I was real pleased with how we played in all three phases. I think you hit the nail right on the head there. We were able to execute early. Shippensburg came out. They had a great drive to start the game out, but then we settled in, and I think our defense played lights out, really put a lot of pressure on Ship all day. Forced them in some really tough situations. Offensively, I thought we were able to have balance, but be able to run the football. And then special teams did a lot of good things that a lot of people won't notice, but a really solid game for them.
Well, since you kind of said some things maybe people didn't notice, what were some of those things that you definitely noticed?
Well, I think just catching punts and the field position being in a good spot, really solid. Not a lot of crazy penalties on kick returns. I thought that was a pretty good deal. I thought they did a nice job pressuring a punter to force them into, some errant punts. So I think, special teams, when you don't notice them, that's when they're really doing all the right things.
The defensive side for you guys, Shippensburg leaned pretty heavy into the Wildcat with the running back there this week to go along with their quarterback. And, of course, their quarterback had gotten banged up throughout the game as well. But how did you guys respond to that? Did they do sort of what you were expecting, and how did you feel about the defensive performance against them?
I thought our defense was well prepared for anything that Ship could have thrown at them. I thought that they were flying around, putting a lot of pressure. I think one of the things that we've done here for years is, we want to stop the run, make a team one-dimensional. I thought we were able to do that. I think Shippensburg had 7 yards rushing, which is an outstanding day for our defense. And I thought we ran to the ball well. We tackled. I thought we had guys covered. I just think it was a really solid game defensively, very sound on the front end, up front, in the box, in the back end. All phases played extremely well. Played with great energy, great effort, ran to the football, had a lot of guys to the ball. Just a super game, and you can see how well our defense has been developing through the years and how through this year, and how they have grown to become what I think is a very competitive group for our football team.
Thank you for pointing out the rushing yards to us there. I don't think that was one of the sevens that stood out to us, and it probably should have. The ones that stood out for at least me when looking through the box score was, of course, the only 7 points allowed and only 7 first downs allowed defensively as well. Coach, it's been a fantastic turnaround for the defense from what they looked like at the start of the season up until this point here towards the end of the season. What do you credit that to overall?
I think repetition is the mother of all learning, and I think the more reps our guys have gotten, and they've gotten a feel, and they the communication's better. They're really in sync, and they're just playing really good football.
On the other side, Coach, 300 rushing yards for you guys. Another great performance for Jordan Barnett, and you got a couple other guys involved as well. I did want to ask specifically about Jabril Daniels, who we saw really for the first time, where he had 8 carries for 69 yards. For a freshman to have that big of a performance, how impressive was that for you?
Well, you know what, that was great for Jabril. We're excited. I thought the great thing about Saturday was, and having such a significant win, we were able to play a lot of people, and so to be able to get Jabril in, a lot of those new freshman offensive linemen, Troy Wilson got some significant snaps, but I was very impressed with Jabril. But I've seen a lot. We recruited him. We saw what a great high school career he had. We know what his potential was when we recruited him, and be able to see it, in a kind of a flash of it in the game last weekend was great. he's just right now playing behind what I think is one of the best running back tandems in the country with Jordan and Grant.
All righty, Coach, any other thoughts or comments from last week's game? If not, we'll kind of shift our focus over to this week unless you got anything else, Dylan, yourself.
It was a great win. We were able to, Shippensburg is a game that through the history of our program, playing them means a lot to our alums. It's a regional game. We're about an hour and 10 minutes apart from one another. So a lot of our alumni are in the area, a lot of their alumni. I think it's a game. It's probably as many games played against anybody on our schedule. So I think when we can have a win against somebody that is somewhat of a rival, it's always good. And to do it where we get a chance to do it that significantly, yes, it was a great win. I thought the day was awesome, Military Appreciation Day. We got to salute our military. I thought it was a great atmosphere in Rams Stadium. I just thought that it was a super day for the Shepherd Rams.
All right, let's shift our focus over to this week's game, final road game of the season. You guys head up to Lock Haven. Your initial thoughts on them heading in?
Well, you've seen Lock Haven's program build over the last few years, and you can see how sound they are right now. They're a really good football team. They have a quarterback that can really throw the ball around the yard. Very effective. He's been in the program for a few years. They have some talented wide receivers. They're really good in the running game. I think offensively it's going to be a real challenge for our defense, and I'm looking forward to see them rise to the occasion. Offensively, we're going to be playing against a defense. They're really good up front. They got some really solid linebackers. So we're going to have to do a good job in the trenches to be successful. We're going to have to be able to run the ball effectively, to be able to have balance on offense for us to be successful. And special teams needs to continue to make the ordinary play extraordinary, do the little things well so the big things take care of themselves. We have to try and create turnovers on defense, stay away from turnovers on offense. We need to score points when we're in the red zone, and we need to really put a lot of pressure on our quarterback and make him uncomfortable.
Coach, where are we at with the health of the team right now? We saw Will Johnson get injured during the. Is there any sort of injuries that you're looking at that we should be looking out for?
I think Will's going to be very questionable for this week. I think we're like any other football team going into Week 10. Everybody's banged up. Everybody's sore. We have some injuries throughout the roster, but it's also great seeing some of the other guys step up. Part of our pyramid of success here, things we count on, is the next man up mindset. We have guys that have been preparing all spring and through the fall camp and then during the season. So when their time came to step up, they are. And I feel very confident about where our roster is. Even though you're going to see some faces that aren't going to be in the starting lineup this week, you're going to see a lot of new faces step up and do some good things. But, yes, Will is questionable.
All right.
What do you feel like it's going to come down to here this week that your team needs to execute to get the win?
I think we can't turn the football over. We have to be able to run it, and we have to score more points than them.
All right, Dylan, you got anything else? If not, I got one more.
I think that sums it up pretty well. What do you got?
Yeah.
I wanted to go over and talk a little bit more about Jordan Barnett. I've been kind of trying to get this conversation started here on our airwaves just about the tremendous season he's had, and looking at everything else going on in the conference, at least on the East, trying to plead his case for why he should be the Offensive Player of the Year out of the PSAC East, Coach. So I wanted to hear your thoughts on that, maybe echo my sentiment here for him.
Jordan Barnett is one of the key leaders in our football program. He has had tremendous success running the football. He makes our offense go. And it's really great seeing him. He is a tremendous teammate. He's a great leader. He's very effective on the field. He is one of my favorite guys I've coached in my lifetime. You see a guy that just has a tremendous amount of success on the field, but doesn't try and draw any attention to himself. He's kind of the guy, when every one of his touchdowns he scores, he just flips the ball to the official and celebrates with his teammates, jogs the sidelines, and ready to go into the next play. he is a coach's dream. He's the guy you want to be able to coach, and I'm just I can pound the table for him to be the offensive player of the year. He's as good as any offensive player in the conference.
Don't pound that table too hard, please, Coach.
No
more of that.
The other hand.
I pounded the table, he saw what it got me.
Thank you, Coach. Best of luck on Saturday.
Hey, that was a good one. Thanks, fellas, for the reminder.
All right. Appreciate it.
All right. Have a great day.
You too.
Go Rams.
Go Rams.
Yeah. Go Rams.